The Vatican coin mystery, the perfect circle that nobody can explain. Imagine holding a bronze Vatican medal that has survived wars, revolutions, changing empires, and nearly 2 centuries of history. At first glance, it appears to be just another religious commemorative medal from the 19th century. One side carries the dignified portrait of Pope Pius IX, while the reverse displays a breathtaking design of radiant sunbeams surrounding a perfectly circular center framed by 12 stars. But look closer. Right in the middle is something that has puzzled collectors for generations. A mysterious circular mark that seems completely different from the surrounding metal. It almost looks as though another object once occupied that space before disappearing forever. Was it simply the result of chemistry? Was it intentionally designed that way? Or is it evidence of a forgotten Vatican tradition that history has almost erased? Today, we explore one of the most fascinating mysteries hidden within an 1854 Vatican medal. The story begins in one of the most influential places in the Christian world, the Vatican. During the mid-1800s, Pope Pius IX led the Catholic Church through one of the most challenging periods in its history. Political tensions were growing across Europe, revolutions were reshaping nations, and the authority of the Papal States was constantly under pressure. Despite these uncertainties, Pope Pius IX made a decision that would forever change Catholic doctrine. On December 8, 1854, he officially proclaimed the doctrine of the Immaculate Conception, declaring that the Virgin Mary had been conceived free from original sin. The event became one of the most significant religious milestones of the 19th century, and to commemorate this historic declaration, special medals were produced for clergy, pilgrims, and collectors. The medal itself is a masterpiece of 19th century craftsmanship. The front features an elegant portrait of Pope Pius IX wearing the traditional papal zacchetto and richly decorated ceremonial robes. Every fold of the fabric, every detail of his facial features, and every engraved letter reflects the remarkable skill of the engravers working in Rome at the time. Around the portrait is the Latin inscription identifying the Pope, while the engraver's signature appears subtly beneath the bust. Even after more than 170 years, many surviving examples continue to display extraordinary detail, a testament to the quality of their production. For decades, collectors have debated what caused this unusual appearance. Some believe the answer is simple, a chemical reaction known as differential oxidation. Bronze naturally changes color over time as it reacts with oxygen, moisture, oils from human hands, and environmental pollutants. If part of the surface was protected for years by another object, even something as simple as wax, cloth, paper, or adhesive, that protected area would age differently from the exposed bronze around it. When the covering eventually disappeared, it would leave behind a perfectly preserved circular section that contrasts sharply with the rest of the metal. From a scientific perspective, this explanation appears entirely reasonable. Yet not everyone is convinced. If the explanation were purely chemical, why do some examples display an almost perfectly defined circle while others show only faint traces? Why does the boundary often appear remarkably clean rather than gradually fading into the surrounding surface? These questions have fueled endless discussions among numismatists, historians, and museum specialists. The precision of the circle almost gives the impression that it served a deliberate purpose during the medal's original use. Another theory suggests that the center may once have held a decorative insert. Throughout European religious history, medals were sometimes designed to incorporate glass, enamel, gemstones, relic holders, or miniature devotional objects. Such additions could transform an ordinary commemorative medal into a deeply personal religious keepsake. If this Vatican medal originally contained an insert that was later removed, the protected bronze beneath it would naturally appear different after decades of exposure. Unfortunately, despite extensive research, no surviving documentation confirms that this particular 1854 medal was officially manufactured with any removable centerpiece. Some researchers have proposed an even more intriguing possibility. During religious ceremonies, sacred medals were occasionally placed into elaborate display frames, ceremonial mounts, or devotional cases. If this medal spent years inside a holder that covered only the center, the exposed bronze would develop a darker patina, while the protected area remained relatively unchanged. Over many decades, the difference could become striking enough to create the mysterious circular appearance we see today. This theory fits the physical evidence surprisingly well, yet once again, historical records remain frustratingly silent. Modern technology has helped answer some questions while creating new ones. Conservation scientists can now examine bronze surfaces using high-powered microscopes, X-ray fluorescence analysis, and advanced imaging techniques that reveal subtle differences in corrosion and metal composition. Studies of similar historical metals have demonstrated that tiny variations in storage conditions, humidity, cleaning methods, and handling can produce dramatically different surface colors over long periods. Even two metals struck from the same die on the same day may age very differently, depending on where they spent the next century. This scientific understanding strengthens the oxidation theory, but it still cannot explain every individual example. Another fascinating aspect is how collectors themselves have contributed to the mystery. Antique metals often pass through countless owners over generations. Some are carefully preserved in velvet-lined cases. Others spend decades in drawers, churches, museums, attics, or private collections. Some owners clean their metals aggressively, unintentionally removing centuries of natural patina, while others never touch them at all. Every decision affects how the bronze ages. As a result, no two surviving metals are truly identical. The mysterious center appears more dramatic on some pieces than on others, making each example unique and adding another layer of intrigue. The historical context also adds to the metal's fascination. Pope Pius IX served one of the longest papacies in history, witnessing extraordinary political and religious change. During his reign, the papal states gradually disappeared, Italy became unified, and the Vatican's role transformed forever. Objects connected to his papacy are therefore more than religious souvenirs. They are physical witnesses to a period that reshaped European history. Every scratch, every discoloration, and every layer of patina tells part of that story. Today, original 19th century Vatican medals remain highly sought after by collectors of religious art and numismatics. Their value depends on rarity, condition, historical significance, and originality. While the mysterious circular center alone does not necessarily make a medal more valuable, it often makes it more interesting. Collectors are naturally drawn to objects that raise unanswered questions, and few features attract curiosity as quickly as an unexplained mark preserved across generations. Perhaps the most remarkable part of this mystery is that no single explanation completely satisfies every observer. Science provides logical answers based on chemistry and material aging. Historians search archives for forgotten manufacturing techniques and religious customs. Collectors compare examples from different collections around the world, hoping to identify consistent patterns. Yet after all this research, the perfect circle continues to invite debate. It reminds us that history is rarely complete. Documents disappear, traditions fade, knowledge is lost. Sometimes the objects themselves become the only surviving witnesses. When you look at this 1854 Vatican medal today, you are not simply looking at a piece of bronze. You are looking at nearly 2 centuries of history captured in metal. You are seeing the craftsmanship of master engravers, the faith of countless pilgrims, the passage of time recorded through natural aging, and a mystery that continues to inspire discussion among experts and enthusiasts alike. Whether the circle was created by chemistry, protected by an object long since vanished, or connected to a forgotten devotional practice, one fact remains undeniable. It has succeeded in doing something extraordinary. It has kept people asking questions for generations. And perhaps that is the greatest mystery of all. Not whether we will ever discover exactly why the circle exists, but why certain objects continue to capture the human imagination long after their creators are gone. This humble Vatican medal has outlived kings, governments, and entire generations, yet it still whispers a silent question to everyone who holds it. What really happened here? Until undeniable evidence emerges, the perfect circle at the heart of this remarkable 1854 Vatican medal will remain exactly what every great historical mystery should be, an unanswered question preserved in bronze, waiting for the next curious mind to uncover its story.